hope that we can defeat the dark forces without destroying the metals.
One question that people keep on asking right now is how can you recreate the Red Death? Hi guys, welcome to Multiverse. So today we're going to take a look at how to recreate our friend the Red Death. The easiest way is probably the one you're seeing right now. You can get the official Red Death set of gear from the Paradox Time Capsules. So as you can see, if you look at the Paradox Time Capsules, you can get the Speed Metal gear, which is the Red Death set of gear. You can also get the enhanced version of the Speed Metal gear. But if somehow you do not want to use Time Capsules, you can just purchase the gear from the broker. You can purchase the enhanced version of the gear, or you can purchase the regular version of the gear. Depending on what you can afford, you may have to settle for one or the other. The sum of the gear is not that expensive. Obviously, if you're a free-to-play player, it's too expensive for you, or a premium player. But if you're a legendary player, like 2 million, that's nothing. Or some pieces of gear are even less than 1 million. For the material, there's the red metal chroma material that you can use. That material comes from the Dark Knight's Time Capsule, but you can also purchase it from the broker. There's also the red metallic chroma that you could try to purchase, but as you can see, it is pretty expensive on the broker. So you may decide to purchase the red metal chroma instead. And also the red metal chroma is inspired directly by our friend the Red Death. But there's nothing forcing you to use a material. You can just use the enhanced version of the style, which looks pretty awesome as you can see. It's a pretty cool looking style. They did a really good job when they released that style, when they added that style to DC Universe Online. And as you can see, it's pretty much spot on with the version that they're choosing in the Metal Part 1 DLC right now. For the accessory, I'm using the red ball lightning accessory, but I pretty much hate that accessory. I'll show you another one in just a minute. For the aura, I'm using the swarming bat aura, but it's probably the easiest option to get, especially with there's Halloween that's just around the corner. So if you want to be able to use the swarming bat aura, purchase it during the Halloween seasonal. Otherwise, you're going to have to wait until next Halloween to be able to purchase it, or you're going to have to purchase the Gotham Family Pack, I think. Although an option that I really like is the red metallic chroma. Sadly, as you saw on the broker, the red metallic chroma is freaking expensive. So if you already have the red metallic chroma, then you have a perfect chroma from the Red Death. Oh, Evil Crypto. So the red metallic chroma looks awesome. But sadly, it's very expensive, so unless you already have it, not sure how you can get it. For the accessory, I'm using La Mort card accessory. La Mort means death in the language of the French, so it's kind of fitting with a Red Death character. And of course, for the aura, here I'm using the Sparking Aura. Sadly, the Sparking Aura is you can only get it from the broker nowadays, and even then, if you're lucky enough to get it from the broker, odds are it will be freaking expensive. You could purchase, I guess, a modular version from the Quarks vendor, but it's just not the same. And if somehow the enhanced version of the style is too expensive on a broker, or the materials are too expensive, there is the regular version that you can get, which is pretty awesome by itself. It's one of those styles where no matter what version you use, it's always the style remains awesome nonetheless. So the regular version is awesome, the enhanced version is awesome, and if you use some of the chroma materials to be able to enhance either version, you can't lose. It's a win-win scenario all around. The only problem is whether you can afford all of that stuff or not.
It'd clearly go better over here.
For materials, an option you could try and use is the negative Speed Force material. Sadly, it covers pretty much everything, so it covers the eyes and the ears of the character. It also covers the emblem, but it's a pretty darn good looking material, and you can get it easily enough from the Booster Gold vendor. It is a bit pricey though. It's like 5,000 quarks, or actually more than 5,000 quarks, so it is an expensive material to purchase on the quarks, on the Booster Gold vendor. But it's if you can play the long game and save up your quarks, it's worth it. Here I'm using the Arctic material for the belt, but you don't have to. You could just put the belt white with no material. It would work well enough. Another material you can use that comes again straight from the booster gold vendor is the void material. And as I mentioned previously, if you don't have a material for the belt, like if you don't have the Arctic material, just put the belt white and it'll work well enough.
The bug cave is way sweeter than your place. I'd give you permission to enter it, but it's top secret.
But again, the material is a little pricey on the booster gold vendor. Again, it's over 5,000 quarks. So if you want to purchase the material, you are going to have to save up your quarks in order to be able to purchase it. Although one thing that the void material has that's an advantage over the negative speed force material, it doesn't have the lightning effect that the negative speed force has, but it has you can change the color. Like I've seen some blue red death in the watchtower, and I thought that it was a pretty neat idea. So if you have the void material, you can actually customize the color of your red death if you want to. And actually, when you put it blue, it kind of looks like the Merciless, doesn't it? At least it reminds me of that. And of course, if you don't have the Red Death set of gear, you can still recreate a pretty darn good version of our friend the Red Death using the Black Flash Mask. There was also some Batman Dark Knight's Metal emblems that were released during the anniversary event. So basically, next January, we should be able to get access to those emblems again. In the anniversary event vendor, there's a little box. It cost, I think it cost 75 currency. I forget the name of the currency. And within that box, you have the emblems of a whole bunch of Dark Knight's Metal characters. There's the Red Death, there's the Merciless, there's I forget them all. But basically, you get a whole bunch of them. You get the regular version of the emblem, and you get the enhanced version of the emblem. Once in a while, you will see one of those emblems on the broker, so keep an eye out for the broker to be able to get those emblems. But if you don't have the money to be able to purchase them, just be patient. Next January, we should be able to purchase that little box again. It will give us the emblems for the Dark Knight's Metal. So here I'm using the negative Speed Force material. I'm using the Speed Force belt. I'm using the Stalwart Defender chest, the Stalwart Defender pants, the Flash boots, the Batman Beyond gloves, and the Hush shoulders. I forget the actual name. The Vengeful Surgeon shoulders, and of course the Black Flash mask. And since I'm using the emblem, the material doesn't cover the emblem. So unlike the other version of Red Death I showed you, like unlike the official Red Death set of gear, if you use the material on the Red Death set of gear, sadly it covers the emblem. But if you use another chest piece like the Stalwart Defender chest with the material, it's not going to cover the emblem. So you decide which option you prefer. And if somehow you cannot get the Black Flash mask, you can get the Black Flash headpiece either from the broker, or you can try to get the collections from the Team of Time capsules to be able to get the Black Flash cowl, or you could decide to purchase a Black Flash mask from our friend Booster Gold. But if somehow you don't want to purchase a Black Flash mask for whatever reason, you could use the Flash headpiece, the Speedster cowl. But you're gonna have to use some sort of face mask to hide the face of the character. It's not a perfect option, but it works well enough. And everything else is pretty much the same as the version I showed you previously with the Black Flash headpiece. The one distinction also is that here I'm using the Void material. With the Black Flash I was using the negative Speed Force material. So this for a long time was a pretty good option we had to be able to recreate the Red Death within this universe online. Also, if you search in my videos, I made basically a handful of videos about the Red Death already. Either how to make it, even before we had the Red Death set of gear, I had a video or two showing how you could recreate the Red Death. But now that we have the official Red Death set of gear, I think I have a video about the regular version of the Red Death. I have a video about the enhanced version of the Red Death. So if you need more information, you can look in my videos for one of those videos. Or, even better yet, if you have any questions, you can ask so in the comment section down below, and I'll see what I can do about answering your questions. So again, you can recreate a pretty darn good version of our friend the Red Death, but you're gonna have to either get the official Red Death set of gear, or you're gonna have to farm to try to get some alternative versions.
Can't stop myself, must obey!
In my world, I strapped the Flash to the hood of my Batmobile and drove to the Speed Force. Gaining his powers made me a better, deadlier Batman. but I still have his annoying voice stuck in my head. I'm going to enjoy watching another Flash squirm. Think you can keep up? Catch me if you can.
So that's pretty much it for now, guys. As always, thank you for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye-bye.